Hello, 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 hello. Hi, 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 hi. First and foremost, thank you for tuning in. Dar, I do see you. Thank you for remembering. Um, so today is, I'm sure you know, it's Friday, September 22nd, and we're going to have a awesome live show. I'm gonna go with the flow, but a quick disclaimer before we start is that um so there's a storm going on here where I live. So if you lose internet connection, I apologize. A crazy storm's about to hit us. The second thing is unfortunately I was not able. Hi Paula. Hmm. Unfortunately, I was not able to transfer no ads from YouTube videos from my personal account to my PACT account. So if there's commercials, I apologize. Okay. All right. So let's get started. I hope everybody's doing good. Hope everyone is having a good day. And the weekend is here. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Without you, I am not here. Now, this is for those who can and who want to do more. You have options in the description below. Pick the one that fits you best. I will always suggest a membership program because it is the easiest way and the most affordable way to support the channel. But understand that by you watching from start to the end, commenting and interacting with this video and this live helps my algorithm a ton. So, with that being said, press like, subscribe, and let's get to it. So I don't know how much you guys were aware, but I think we might have a retrial of this crazy mess, the Murdaugh murders. Oh, of course, I forgot to add for the replay crew. Uh, thank you, and for anybody here, please be respectful in your comments and be aware that other people might read your comments. Just be nice in your wordings. All right. So bombshell allegation came out from this Murdaugh situation. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's a lie. I do think we're going to have to go into a retrial, a mistrial. I think the jurors are going to be in big trouble. If you don't know what's going on, what happened is that the clerk, the court clerk, decided to write a book after the trial. And in the book, she wanted to be tongue in cheek, kind of, sort of, kind of explain a little bit what's going on behind the scenes. And by doing so, she unwittingly, I would assume, divulged the information that she pretty much tampered with the jury, but saying silly things, right? But in the context of it, the defense of Murdaugh has harped on it, and so let's listen. Let's listen to the press conference. Now, look, oh Murdaugh, can't believe it. I cannot believe it. All right.
Jim tell you?
So immediately in the aftermath of the verdict, we had received information that we needed to look into what happened in the jury room. We started down that road and we met a zone of silence. No jurors would speak to us, and so we were, what I like to call, we were given the Heisman, right? And then when the clerk of court wrote her book, published her book, that zone of silence collapsed. And jurors were upset about that, the ones we talked with, and they were more than willing to come forward and tell us the things that we had sort of heard through a whisper campaign. But and so as a result of that, we were able to interview some jurors. Now there's still a number of jurors who maintain that zone of silence, who have not talked to us. We did try to reach out to most all of them that we could get in touch with, but we, the information we got, I can tell you, was independent of each juror. The first juror we talked to, we got information about Ms. Hill saying, "Don't be fooled," and then the second juror, independent of the first juror, says the same thing, and the third juror, independent of the other two, say the same thing. And so we're very confident that the information is accurate.
Well, and
timeline.
what
the ruling will be, how fast you want.
ask them. I mean, we don't have any control over that. We just did receive a notice from the Court of Appeals that the Attorney General has 10 days to respond to our motion. Okay. Now, I think what's interesting to me, again, having done this for so long, is that once we had that initial contact with that first juror, we began going around. We had a list and knocking on literally on Sundays, knocking on jurors' doors, asking them to speak with us. Some of them wouldn't come out. Some of us told us never to come back. But some did, and some talked to us. I'll give you an example. And one of the things we heard was once the jury went out, even though there were 6 smokers and they were given smoke breaks during the entire trial, once the jury went out, they were told no more smoke breaks. No, you're not, you people that want nicotine, you're going to have to get a verdict first. I mean, it's that kind of stuff. Now that indicates something, and the court would be the one to communicate that. Why? So a bunch of folks told us stuff that appeared to be inconsequential, but in the total context indicated to us that what we've put in this petition about the CLERK is credible. And based on sworn testimony from 2 jurors, and we interviewed a third. My paralegal, Holly Miller, has given you an affidavit or filed an affidavit on what she told us. A lot of these folks just don't want to get involved, but they're going to be involved if we get a hearing, because each and every one of them is going to have to testify in an open court before you as to what happened and what didn't happen.
That's pretty significant. You know, pretty much he said that the jurors are legally liable. I don't even know if there's even a legal avenue to even put a juror on the stand in public. I think it's he's going very far with that. Now, just to be very clear, right? He said the comments in itself are very negligible, but in the context of it, like he said, why? And to be quite honest, I hope they have a thorough investigation on this. And yeah, I asked myself the same question. Why? Why did she have to go and write this book? And this is my first question to you. Why do you think the clerk had absolutely, do you think she really needed to be writing this book to tell us behind the scenes of what's going on at the Court of Clerks? I think it's pretty obvious to me, isn't it? Right? So take care of the jury, make sure there's no murderer that stormed the door. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why she needed to go that far. But in her defense, she wanted to capitalize. She wanted to capitalize on the fact that the murder trial was a very, very big trial. She wanted to capitalize on the fact that she has bills to pay. I mean, they spent $30,000 of their own money to get the book going, and it's self-published, so there's no big entity behind it. Truly, she really wanted to make something out of that. But let me know, what do you think? Because it sucks. It sucks. And you know what? Murdaugh is having a good laugh right now. He's like, yes, get me out of here. Yes. You know what I mean? So as you guys concoct your answers, let me acknowledge the comments. Okay. By the way, Paula, I want you to know that that's my sister's name. Is that you, Paula? Paula, est-ce que c'est toi? Anyway. Hi, David. Hey, hello, Didi. Happy Friday. Hi, PACT Nation. Hello, SA. I hope everyone is doing okay. And yes, nearly 6K. I am super stoked, but super happy. But I'm just being myself. So if I'm a winner either way. Did not expect any of this. So no matter how things spin, I'm happy regardless. Let's go to the next story, because this one is just as crazy. Mr. Berger. So Kohberger, I don't know if you know this, the cameras have been denied access to the courtroom, and I don't think they're going to undeny it anymore, which is really, really infuriatingly annoying. I think one of the big issues with the Idaho 4 situation is that there is very little information to begin with. There's a lot of sealed stuff, there's just a lot of murky waters. And one of the main things, especially when it comes to the courts, right? Like transparency. Isn't it part of the Constitution for the public for the peers to be privy to what's going on. I don't understand why courts have to block access, you know. Unless a child is involved, I don't really see the need to block anything. And that's really infuriating to me, because his argument is pretty much the prosecution didn't follow protocol. I mean, sometimes I ask myself with this judges are very, very fair. Judges are most judges have a lot of stuff in their head, but once in a while I'm like, did they drink too much coffee today? What is happening? You know? So my second question to you is, do you think it's right for cameras to be kicked out of court? I don't think so. I think as a citizen and as a member of the world, I want to see my criminal being hanging on the wall. Yeah. Let's see. So Paula is, I'm sister. Okay, so it's not you. Paula is my sister's name. It's so funny. I spoke to her today actually, and we had a very good conversation. I'm going to see her next week. Spend the day there the weekend. Oh, thank you, David. Oh, Cassandra. Just thank you, Cassandra. Thank you. The next story is someone that is going very hot right now, and this guy, the Delphi murders. Now, the Delphi murders are gruesome, and the reason why I picked this photo is because I want you to see the drastic difference of this man from before he was in prison and after he was in prison. And I'm going to make a connection from what his defense team is saying, because his defense team is saying that he's being mistreated inside the jail. And I have a weird inclination that they might be right, because he lost a ton of weight. And even in terms of his demeanor and temperament, it's a completely different man. It's almost as if, like, did he get brainwashed while he was in there? What the hell happened to the man in the purple shirt? Because the man in red is a completely different person. So let me play this video for you, and because then it's going to make a lot more sense. As a quick reminder, he confessed to his crime up to 5 times in a phone call jail to his wife and mother. So the idea, I'm going to put in quotes, of him not being the alleged murderer, I don't think it's alleged anymore because he confessed. That's not what's being disputed. Okay? All right. Let's go and press play.
Call. Confessions made on prison phone calls are not only admissible, they are devastating. Juries listen to them and believe them.
The day after the alleged confession, Allen's attorneys visited him in jail. According to court documents, they say, quote, Mr. Allen appeared to be suffering from various psychotic symptoms, which counsel would describe as schizophrenic and delusional. The next day, they filed an emergency motion saying Allen's treatment in custody is infringing on his constitutional rights and asking for their client to be transferred.
Do you hear that? That's a pretty big deal, because not long soon after he was put in jail, his behavior, everything about him changed. I mean, I know jail changes people, but I think, give me a few months, maybe a year before I turn into a feral monster. But no, this guy changed almost like that. And so the lawyers were like, what the hell's going on? What's happening? What are you doing to this guy over there in jail? And so I almost understand why the defense is like, can you please take a look into my client, because they are 2 different people. But there is more. Let's listen to this part. Psychotic. They just called him a psycho. This is saying psychotic. Wow. Unless his mind broke in there, unless he completely, like, like lost his mind because I don't know, the food was bad. He had to take a poop with his neighbor right there. I mean, I cannot imagine. I just can't imagine. But okay, that's just me. I don't think I'm cut out for jail. All right, let's listen to this part, and then it's going to make sense.
Explains why. It says investigators had evidence that the teenagers were killed as part of a ritual sacrifice by people who believe in something called Odinism. The defense says the murder scene had telltale signs of Odinism, but investigators and the sheriff withheld those details from the judge when they asked to search Richard Allen's home. Allen's attorneys say investigators and the prosecutor had credible information that points to other possible suspects, but they dismissed those leads. The defense also says the sheriff concealed and fabricated statements from witnesses in his request for a search warrant. And the lawyers say there is a gaping hole when it comes to evidence linking Richard Allen to the murders. They say Richard Allen has zero connections to Odinism and has nothing to do with this crime.
Now, let me just tell you what Odinism is. It's a pagan religion. It's like, you know, believing in like Zeus, and you know, it's a pantheon of Norse mythology. So it's a weird religion. And from what the defense team is saying, if you combined their concern for the client inside the jail with what appears to be a stack of document that dictates that there is evidence and signs of Odinism, and the defense is saying that if you combine those two dots together and you look into what the prosecution protocol was, there is something of mishandlement. Now, I'm not that smart, but I have a lot of common sense. And so I would assume that if the paper stacks are about this thick and the judge sealed the entire paper document like seconds after it was released, that means the defense did its homework. So there is some truth over there, which baffles the hell out of me, because if this is true in any ounce of capacity, he's going to be free too. It's like, what the F? We're about to witness two criminals hanging out at your local Walmart. I'm just saying, like, it's just bunkers my freaking mind. My mind, like, it's insane. Like, it just, you know what? We'll see. But what do you think? Do you think there's some truth to this Odinism cult? I don't know if you know about it, but think about that a little bit, one and one together. You know, this guy just gets arrested. Maybe a couple months later, he becomes a completely different person from a psychotic point of view. Okay, fine. And then the defense is like, don't even recognize my own client. What the hell happened in there? Ask the court to double check. And in the meantime, the defense comes up and be like, wait a minute, there's a lot of discrepancies here. That's insane. That's not random. That's not something that's just by chance. It's way too weird. Way too weird. Okay. Oh, it's so nice to see you guys. Hi, Tina, Sarah Bunspy. Hello. Okay, so Paula said she saw Murdaugh laughing in court yesterday. This retrial thing must have been why. I think so too. Please, if I was Murdaugh, I'd be giggling. I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Yeah. And you know what? To go back on the Murdaugh really quickly, I'm a little bit upset at the jury, because why are you talking now? Why are you talking now? You had the entire trial to go and say, excuse me, judge, this lady over there is asking me way too many questions. Why now? That it's really annoying. Do you want to know why? Because it speaks of the character. You mean to tell me you spend the entire trial pretending, and then you make a judgment, and then you go and complain to the defense? Something is fishy there too. Matter of fact, I take that back. Bring them to court and let them testify. I want to know what's going on. Yeah. What the hell is wrong with people? Hi, Mark. Mark. So Kohberger has a creepiness. Yes, that's true. Kohberger has creepiness with the creepy eyes. The cameras seem to be attracted to. They seem to think he's getting too much screen time, specifically while in court. Yeah, actually, that's one of the reasons why the defense was like, the camera is on my client for way too much, which is not fair. Which I'm like, really? Like, who goes to court for the prosecution? Nobody. You go to court to look at the person being prosecuted, right? I don't need to look at the prosecution. Show me the defendant. Backwards thinking. I could be a judge for 50% off. No, please don't, because everybody will be guilty. I'd be like, oh, sure, guilty. Please don't. And I'll always give the maximum. Nah, what's the maximum? Done. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway. All right, so Lucy. All right, so we were just talking about Richard Allen, the Delphi murders. And the question here on the screen is, do you think there is some legitimacy to the Audenism cult? Let me know what you think. Okay. Now we are, look at that. I'm doing good on time. It's 7:22. You have no idea how this thing is well prepared. What is the halfway mark? Look at that. Please press like and subscribe if you haven't done so. You guys get to really see what I'm doing this live, but this is how I record with on the videos and stuff. Most of the videos I make is might as well just be live. I just clip the segments, and the rest, it is what it is. The only time I do heavy editing is when I scream like I just did, I scream and shout like I just did, or yell at the computer, or yell at the screen, or start crying for no reason. I'd edit that out because yeah, some people might be like, what the anyway. So there is this crazy person. When I heard about the next story, I wasn't shocked. I wasn't shocked at all. At all. I'm going to tell you a little secret. Me and my secrets. You know, I come from way back. Russell Brand. Listen. Before I go into the story itself, let me tell you a little bit about what I know. So Katy Perry was married to Katy Perry, and Katy Perry had a favorite dancer. His name is Malik, and Malik is my friend. And Malik is my very good friend from France. Yes, Malik was Katy Perry's main dancer, and during the divorce, during the situation, she confided in Malik. I'm not going to tell you what I know, but all I got to tell you is this is not a nice man. This is a... Oh, allegedly. Wait a minute. That's so real. Oh, yes. 1 second. Ooh, I cut myself because there's no editing. Allegedly. This is not a nice man. Allegedly. He's not nice in he's not nice physically, he's not nice emotionally, allegedly. So I am not surprised as his sexual allegations came out. Now he made an apology video. Look, not apology, like an acknowledgement video. There's something that people need to understand. If you're gonna go in front of a camera, in front of the public, and speak your truth, you have to be authentic. Do you want to know why? Because it falls flat. And also, if you are not authentic, do you know what's going to happen? Because we're not the only one watching. The police is watching. The FBI is watching. You need to be authentic and be very careful. I'm very surprised he didn't get his lawyer to vet this out. But because I'm a nosy human being, I'm going to show you the video, and then we're going to break it down together. And I'm going to play it in its entirety. And then I will break it down. I did see the video already before we started. So please forgive me on that. Oh boy, Russell. Russell.
Hello there, you awakening wonders. Now, this isn't the usual type of video we make on this channel where we critique, attack, and undermine the news in all its corruption, because in this story, I am the news. I've received two extremely disturbing letters, or a letter and an email, one from a mainstream media TV company, one from a newspaper, listing a litany of extremely egregious and aggressive attacks, as well as some pretty stupid stuff like my community festival should be stopped, that I shouldn't be able to attack mainstream media narratives on this channel. But amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks are some very serious allegations that I absolutely refute. These allegations pertain to the time when I was working in the mainstream, when I was in the newspapers all the time, when I was in the movies. And as I've written about extensively in my books, I was very, very promiscuous. Now, during that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual. I was always transparent about that then, almost too transparent. And I'm being transparent about it now as well. And to see that transparency metastasized into something criminal that I absolutely deny makes me question, is there another agenda at play? Particularly when we've seen coordinated media attacks before, like with Joe Rogan, when he dared to take a medicine that the mainstream media didn't approve of. And we saw a spate of headlines from media outlets across the world using the same language. I'm aware that you guys have been saying in the comments for a while, watch out, Russell, they're coming for you. You're getting too close to the truth. Russell Brand did not kill himself. I know that a year ago, there was a spate of articles. Russell Brand's a conspiracy theorist. Russell Brand's right wing. I'm aware of news media making phone calls, sending letters to people I know for ages and ages. It's been clear to me, or at least it feels to me, like there's a serious and concerted agenda to control these kind of spaces and these kind of voices. And I mean my voice along with your voice. I don't mind them using my books and my stand-up to talk about my promiscuous consensual conduct in the past. What I seriously refute are these very, very serious criminal allegations. Also, it's worth mentioning that there are witnesses whose evidence directly contradicts the narratives that these two mainstream media outlets are trying to construct, apparently in what seems to me to be a coordinated attack. Now, I don't want to get into this any further because of the serious nature of the allegations, but I feel like I'm being attacked, and plainly they are working very closely together. We are obviously going to look into this matter because it's very, very serious. In the meantime, I want you to stay close, stay awake, but more important than any of that, if you can, please stay free.
Okay. So, let me go in the comments really quickly. Okay, no new comments. All right. How do I break this down? I don't want to offend anybody, but if you're offended, I apologize. Unfortunately, I cannot edit any of that, so I apologize. But I'm going to start by saying something. If I tell you that I'm a black man, you wouldn't be shocked, right? You'd be like, okay, all right, you're black. It's just like if I tell you I'm a male, you'd be like, okay, fine, you're a guy. Why do I bring this up? It's because if you listen a little bit to who his audience is, was, and is going to be, then it makes this statement a little bit mute. I explain further. For example, he used a lot of keywords. And look, let's not beat around the bush. Russell Brand is right wing. And he does believe in conspiracy theory. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. You know, it's a free country. You believe whatever you want to believe in. Do you understand? There's nothing wrong with that. But the issue is that you have plenty of women who accuse him of sexual, of the word grape. I didn't say the R. And that's a serious allegation. This is not something you make light of. If you look at the keywords he's using very specific keyword. Agenda, transparency, right wing, conspiracy, Joe Rogan, because he decided to take a pill. He's using the language that caters to his base. And then in the same breath, he goes and targets the people who are not his base by saying, back in the day, I was promiscuous. Yes, I admit that. But I'm being transparent, just like I'm being transparent now. I don't need to know that. Why are you making such an effort to tell me that you are being transparent? No, just speak from the heart, speak your truth. I don't need to be told that you're being transparent 4 times. I don't need to be told that you're promiscuous back in the day 5 times. I don't need to be told about Joe Rogan. What that has to do with anything? I don't need to be told about your right wing and your political agenda. What does that have to do with anything? Unless he's taking that and he's deflecting somewhere else. And who deflects? People who deflect usually are guilty people, but I'm going to say allege. Because honest people don't deflect. They say, I didn't do anything. Show me what you got. There's no need for deflecting. But he's deflected. But there's one more piece of the puzzle, which unless you really look closely, you might miss it. This video was heavily edited. Heavily edited. I'm going to play it again. Heavy edited. How do you expect someone, let's just say, who's not part of his tribe, to look at this and have genuinity if you have a apology / I didn't do it when everything is so heavily edited? Because it's only a 1 minute video, right? It's only 2 minutes video. Honey, if you accuse me of grape, I just be like, who are you talking about? I didn't do it. Simple as that. I don't need to go into any details at all. But everybody's different. Let me show you. Let me show you at what point the editing occurs. The first cut of editing, which is, there's many more, but that's the main one that I'm going to focus on because it's very much at the beginning and it's a very significant word.
There you awakening wonders. Now, TV company, one from a newspaper, listing a litany of extremely egregious and aggressive attacks, as well as some pretty stupid stuff like my community festival should be stopped, that I shouldn't be able to attack mainstream media narratives on this channel. But amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks are some very serious allegations that I absolutely refute. These allegations pertain to the time when I was working in the mainstream, when I was in the newspapers all the time, when I was in the movies. And as I've written about extensively in my books, I was very, very promiscuous. Now, during that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual.
Did you see that? Always consensual. The consensual was edited in. Now, look, I'm a content creator. It is a nightmare to edit. He did not edit all that. He didn't do the editing. Someone did, which means there was a lot more that was said in between. Someone's like, nah, cut, no, not really. It loses the message. I'll play it one last time and then I'll move on. Just look at the consensualness. And also, if you look at the YouTube bar, it's the most replayed section of the video.
Always consensual.
Right? It's the most replayed. That means his message fell flat for most people who saw it. They were like, wait, what? Wait, right? But that's my take. I'm going to follow this story because I don't think it's going to escape this. I have some insider knowledge that I cannot share. I can't share. I can't share it. Apologies. But I have some insider knowledge and I've seen stuff involving him. Allegedly. I can't edit. Allegedly. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see what the investigation does and we'll see what the court does. These people are smarter than me, but let me tell you something. There is a paper trail, there are text messages, and there are emails, darling, okay? All right? So he can complain all he wants. I know the truth. Allegedly. 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 I don't want to fight him legally. Allegedly. Allegedly. But my question to you for this segment, what do you think? What does your hunch tell you when it comes to Russell and his sexual assault allegation? What does your sixth sense tell you? I'm curious to know because nobody knows the truth right now. Everything is happening behind closed doors, but it will come out. What is your hunch? I'll go to the comments real quick. Sorry. Okay, yes, Lucy, it's early days. Yes, I just have insider knowledge. That's why my mind is already made up. But allegedly, yeah. And I've seen these alleged text message when he was still married to Katy Perry. Allegedly. Yes. Yes. Told you I grew up in New York City. Please. That's where I partied and I met everybody. Yes, so Russell, he does sound like a guy who's good at convincing himself. Yes. Hi, Dar. Hello, hello, hello. Oh boy. I'll give you a hint. A lot of it was allegedly. Allegedly, a lot of it was not of our own free will. I've said it. Allegedly. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Allegedly. I'm nervous now. Normally I would edit that out because it's not worth it. I have too much to lose. But it's okay. You can come for me. Don't come for me, Russell. Leave me alone. But someone that full of himself is bound to assert. Yes. Thank you, Mark. Someone that full of himself is bound to assert that from time to time. That is 100% correct. Someone who is not considerate, who doesn't really allegedly values women, allegedly. So to him, it's just another person with a task to do. Allegedly. Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm putting allegedly everywhere. Oh, see, Tina. So you see, it came out. Your instant. You're like, I don't know. It seems weird. It seems weird and odd. Okay, yeah. It was weird and odd. You know, when I decipher, because I have to guess people's intention for a living, and the first thing I do is I study the person. I try to see what's their name, where do they live. Yeah, I try to get that. Who do they hang out with? What have they done before? Because I want to know what is their normal. Because once I understand their normal, that means if they do something expected, I don't use brain cells to focus on it because it's expected. Just like if I tell you, hey, I'm a black male, you wouldn't think twice about it, right? Sorry, that's normal. So the first thing I do is I try to understand the person. So when they speak to me, all I gotta pay attention to is what is normal and what is not normal. And normally, if someone is being honest, and this is contract negotiation, if they're being honest, they would talk less about what the normal is, and they will be more willing to talk about what is not expected, because we're trying to get to an agreement, right? And so that if someone goes too normal, too expected, no, it's a red flag. Okay, so let me go into let's talk, kids. I just called you guys kids. Look at that. Isn't that kind of cool? Isn't that kind of cool that you guys? I guess I did a little pseudo thing of what the regular video is. The only difference is that I might get stricken or striked because I've showed videos from other people. YouTube might not like that. If it happens, oh well, it happens. So if it happens, the replay crew might not see this. But let's have a conversation. Tell me about your plans for the weekend. Tell me about your week, and and then I'll tell you something really cool that happened to me. You know what? I'm going to change Fire Pit to Let's Talk so people can be more familiar with it. So on Tuesday, something very, very cool happened to me. And I was on cloud 9, literally for like 24 hours. It made me so happy. So we were here working from home, and the doorbell rings. What's going on here? Oh, sorry. I can't type. Look at that. There you go. The doorbell rings. And, we have cameras around here. So I look at the camera and I'm like, I don't know who that is. What is going on? And, I don't open my doors to strangers. So I go to the door. I go to the door and I go, yes, can I help you? Please. That's how people get murdered. I don't open the doors to strangers. And the guy, super sweet man, and he was like, hey, I'm just looking for a job. Can I just like clean your driveway, clean something? He was soliciting. But I looked at him and I said, no, I don't have any work. But he was like, it looked like he was almost on the verge of tears. He was like, okay, I'm just trying to get some work. I'm just trying to work. And I was like, okay. Oh my God, I'm such a softie. So I went and I got my friend's business card. I'm not an a-hole. I got my friend's business card. He has a contracting company. And I gave it to him through the door. I didn't open the door. I gave it to the door. And I told him, I said, he has a contractor and a construction company. Give him a call. I will call him and let you know you're going to call him. And let's see what he has for you, But no, there's nothing here that you can do. And his face light up, and he's like, thank you. And he went on to the neighbor's home and rang the doorbell. But I went and I told Chris, I said, Chris was like, who is that? I said, it's the strangest thing. It was just someone soliciting for work. He had a bucket with water and a sponge, and there was soap in the water. I could see it. And he was like, I want to work. And I completely fell in love, not with him, but fell in love with the fact that it was early in the morning. He got up. It's like, I need to make some money. Let me just go. And like, that's resourcefulness. So I called my friend Tucker. And, I get excited very easily, as you know. And I go, Tucker. You won't believe what happened. Tucker's like, what else? That I'm working. I said, okay, I gave you a business card to someone. He's like, what? And I said, okay, but wait, don't be mad at me, because I don't think he really has working papers. But look, don't break the law, but see if you could give him some work. Tucker started laughing. He's like, wait, what? I said, I gave him your contact. And I told him to call you. So hopefully he calls you. And so I've been checking with Tucker ever since Tuesday, and he hasn't called. But it was really, I was like, good job, kid, good job, keep going. I was encouraging him in my head, like, knock on every door, and say, excuse me, can I clean? I was like, go. Oh, it was great. It was such a good, feel good moment, Yeah, he hasn't called yet, so I'm gonna bother Tucker. Tucker has a family. He's like, I shouldn't bother him so much, but on Monday I'll bother Tucker again. Did he call you? I hope he does. Tucker's probably like, I'll stop. I don't know. Yeah, let's see what you guys. Oh, you know what, Mark? That's right. Your bike. Did you end up selling your bike? So he's going to Street Vibration Motorcycle Meet in this weekend. Oh, cool. Mark loves bikes. Mark and bikes are like best friends. Mark is such a hetero. I love it. So bikes, like not bicycles. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Those kind of motorized bike. He loves that. Painting. Oh, painting. I thought you meant like painting, like art. Oh, you mean painting the wall? Oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna be like, I love painting. I don't love painting the wall though. Sorry, Lucy. No. But I love painting the other one, painting with a brush and some colors. Paula said, today I went out to this little country cemetery and cleaned my parents' grave. Okay, parents' grave. It was a beautiful day and such a peaceful little task. I think the last video I made on the last talk, I was talking about how like every time I see my mom, my heart sinks a little bit. And if you don't mind me asking, Paula, is it difficult to go every time you go to your parents' grave to clean? Is it like an emotional downpour, or has become so routine and normal that it's like going to the market? I'm curious. I'm just curious. Yeah. Mark said the spider is still for sale. Yeah, I remember the picture. Well, the video you showed us, your spider. If you don't mind me asking, remind me, you're selling it for $3,000, correct? Are you gonna bring it to the show? Are you gonna bring the spider to the motorcycle meet and try to sell it there with someone who understands motorcycles? Because that could be a good idea to be like, hey, do you want it? I mean, for sale. Do you want to buy it? That could be a very good idea, you know? I don't have my phone on me. It's upstairs. This weekend, I don't know. Of course, I did not tell you. I didn't tell you. So on Tuesday, my best friend Linda gave birth to her second baby, and it was a difficult birth. She's not quite out of it yet, so I plan on surprising her. Just me. I'm not bringing Olympia because she's recovering. Just me. I'm gonna. She's my friend from college. I think I told you the story. We were roommates. I don't know if I remember that. And then we were eating from Pathmark. Let me know if you remember that story. If I told you that story, she hates it when I tell that story, and I'm always like, it's our story. It's not the best. It's not the most flattering story, but it's a story of our survival. Anyway, so I'm gonna go surprise her on Sunday. And I have she loves figs. I have a ton of figs I'm going to bring her, and I'm gonna be surprised. I'm not gonna scream and shout. I'm gonna come very early. And I told her husband, you could kick me out anytime you want. Just kick me out. I'll leave. Right? I come in and drop the figs, give her a little hugs, twirl a little bit, and said, "I hope you're okay," and drive back home. Yeah, she had a very difficult birth, so I feel like I need to go and just show my face, because sometimes calling is not enough. Sometimes you have to be there in person. Okay. Tina says, tomorrow I will have time with my 3-year-old granddaughter while her brother and sisters are at a football game. Hey, Tina. Tina, how was, I forgot the name of the hurricane or the storm. Everybody made out okay? I emailed you to see if you were fine, because I know you live in Florida. And the aftermath of it was a complete disaster. But you popped into my head, but I figured, I was like, okay. Well, she didn't email me. Like, everything's fine. Yeah, everything worked out okay? Jeez. Yeah. Dar says, volunteer for great race, register runners tomorrow. Set up. Hey, that's awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. So, if you don't mind me asking, what are your times? What are your running times? Yeah, just curious. That's really good. Running is great for you. Yeah, Dar, you better run, girl. You better run. So Mark replies to my question of, can he bring his spider bag to the event? He said, no, we'll have it at our yard sale. I took the insurance off to be able to afford the Royal Enfield, saving $175. Okay. I don't know what the Royal Enfield is, but I'm assuming it's some other insurance stuff. Look at me talking about bike. Oh, Booba! John Booba. Ain't too sure, but sounds like the guy knocking on your door was a scam. Quick cash for dope or casing the place to burglarize. So yeah. I was afraid, because I have a kid here. It's my place of residence. So I'm like, I don't open the door for nothing. Even when I was talking to him, it's the closed door. And we have a security door. And I was like, no, I'm not opening the door. Get out of here. That's how people get killed. No. Lucy said, so Lucy's replying to me to my initial question, which was, because she's going to clean her parents' grave this weekend, and I was asking, does it feel easier every time she goes? And here's her response. Oh, Alistair, I have lost both my parents, and my best advice to be the best son you already are. Oh, thank you. I was in my 20s when I realized I would lose dad early, and I lost him in my 30s. Sorry to hear. Yeah, it's funny you say that, best son that you already are. I joke around with my mom a lot, and I said to my mom, like, I'm your favorite son. I don't know, because I have 4 siblings, and number 4 out of 5. There's 3 boys, 2 girls, and my mom was like, shut up, no, you're not. But I talked to her yesterday. We had there's some behind the scene news with my family, not the Diorios, the Zikios, my family. And she called me, and she did say something very nice. She's like, of all my children, I know I can trust you blindly. And I said, oh, thank you, Mom. Yeah, you could trust me blindly. I'm all in. I'm ride or die. I'm all in. If I'm in, I'm in. If I'm out, I'm out. But I'm in. If I'm mad, I'm really mad. I'm like, oh, goodbye. Like, what's the brand? Allegedly. So Lucy replies, when he passed, I was at peace knowing we had a great, yeah. Okay, that's awesome. That's good, Lucy. Tina P replies to my question, which was, how did her family fare during the terrible storm in Florida? And she replies, yes, nothing here much. And it was north of them. Thank God. Did you see the destruction this thing did? I was like, oh my God. I have to say, that's one. And then, because in my mind, I'm thinking, because Florida already has all these crocodiles and stuff, and, the snakes, the swimming stuff. When you have a storm like that, does the water become dangerous? Like, when the water gets into your apartment and your house, does it come with a crocodile? Like how does that work? Because then the croc is like, oh, what a great weather. I can explore here. I've never been here. Oh, what is that? Oh, look at these feeties. Like, I don't know. Tell me, Tina, because you live there. Because that's the thing that popped into my head. I'd be like, holy crap. The crocodile's in the water. I'm not crossing the street. But I replied, first time I cleaned the headstone, I visit regularly. I have a little one-sided conversation. I talked to my father with much sadness. I did not consider the good relation while he was alive. I see. Can I scare you a little bit? Well, not scare you, but make you uncomfortable. Maybe not. Make everybody uncomfortable. Maybe not. I can't wait when my dad disappears, allegedly. I can't wait. It's taking too long, actually. Can't wait. Next time, I don't want to get up because it's too far. Next time, I'll show you the champagne bottle we have from when we get the news. No, he's healthy. He's healthy, and he seems to be sleeping. Done it! I hope I didn't make you uncomfortable. This is not a secret in my household. It's not a secret among my friends. It's not a secret among my coworkers. It's not a secret among the public. It's not a secret even among his family. They know that we don't care for him like that, and we cannot wait for him to go away permanently so we can have full 100% peace. Yeah, it's not a secret. So don't feel uncomfortable for me. Oh, Tina replied, no way. So in Florida, you guys, Florida has hurricane season and there's always this flooding. That water has alligators in it. Tina, I'm never going to move to Florida. I'm never going to do it. Thanks, Tina. Thank you. Because I'm so unlucky. I'll be the one who'd be like, there's no alligator, and I'll be eaten. No. Tina, thank you so much for the warning. I'm never moving to Florida. What? That's insane. I guess it makes sense, right? There's nothing they can do about it. It's an alligator swimming in the water. Oh, crap. Anyway, Booba, tell me about your weekend. What do you have planned for the weekend, Booba? I feel like you have I'm curious to know what you're gonna do. So Booba replied, it doesn't make him uncomfortable. He told his POS dad I couldn't wait to whiz on his grave right to his face. It's blizzard in Massachusetts. That's nice. Yeah, I stick to the blizzards too. Yeah. I was one of my big fears when I became a father was to I hope I don't become like my dad. And then Chris was like, no, you won't become like your dad. But Booba, have you ever had people get so uncomfortable when you say that out loud? And I remember when I was doing therapy, I had to be told, because people were telling me, as I was expressing how I felt for my father, people were telling me, oh my God, no, you shouldn't feel like that. You only have one dad. You should try. And it was actually a big detriment. And then it was my therapist who told me, she was like, no, if any therapists tell you that you need to forgive to move on and all that stuff, fire them, because that's not how it works. She said, everybody has different ways and different methods of moving on. If this is what you need for you to feel better and all that stuff, then that's what you need. And you know what I mean? And that she made me realize, like, It's a privilege to be. It's a privilege to be called. It's a privilege to be respected. You have to work at it. Yeah. Tina said snake too. Paula said, I would sip champagne in support of you. Your father has been on earth long enough to do all the evil he has. Time to go. Yes. Yes. Can I share? There's been so many updates since the last update I've given you. I just stopped talking about it because I'm not a big complainer. Maybe I complain for like one day or two, and then I just deal with the problem behind closed doors. Not to bore you, but my aunts have resumed watching my videos because now, so yesterday we got an update from the court, and let me bring you right up to speed. Next month, judgments are being exercised, like in 2 weeks. Then he brought multiple lawsuits across Africa, of course. So we're fighting those. But the main thing was he brought a criminal complaint to Canadian court, demanding the judge. This is to tell you how much of a narcissist he is. Okay, I told you he's diagnosed, court ordered. He went through 5 lawyers because his lawyers had to pretty much quit. Like kind of like Sarah Boone, because he's unbearable to work with. The new lawyer he has, and they were over the phone, you could hear him dictate to his lawyer what to tell the judge to write in the judgment. Can you believe this? I mean, I was on the phone too, but my mom was like, shut up. We were on mute. But no, honey, my dad was dictating his lawyer, and the lawyer, stupid as he is, was repeating to the judge, and the judge was just giggle, just let him talk, giggle a little bit, and pretty much punish my dad, did a contempt thing, and he had to pay like $9,000 Canadian dollars. But to give you an idea. And of course, and dismiss his frivolous lawsuit. But to give you an idea, like, of how he is, he didn't give a crap. But there's many more. More battles to come. Sorry to bother you with the update, but he's still very much annoying. Let's see. Yes. Water moccasins. Copperhead. Oh my God. Florida. Ooh, Lucy, yeah. Oh, yeah, Lucy, me too. So Booba says, I'm just working this weekend. Oh, that whole just forgive crack and get lost. They had their chances to make amends, but didn't try, so screw them. Guys. For the longest time, I thought it was just my family who was messed up. For the longest time. And it's the more I shared, the more I was like, wow, you too? Yeah. Just reading this sentence, not to be so sappy, it make my heart flutter just a little bit, because I was like, wow, yeah, screw them, because they had so many chances to make it right, but they didn't. Yeah. John says, I don't know if you can hear my daughter. She's screaming. They're home. Dad, mom, sister, whatever. If they are not building you up, and just tearing you down, whiz on them. I agree. Lucy agrees. Yeah. Can you hear her cry? Can you hear her? Because she's loud. Do you hear her or no? And the way I know if I need to go up is if I hear stomping. Because when Christopher gets upset, he stomps. Like frustrated, he stomps. Like clockwork. Thump, thump, thump. You could hear his heel through the board. I don't hear anything, so that's good. That means he's not frustrated. It's like clockwork. You want to frustrate, some white people, they turn red, right? So he turns red, but he's like quiet. And then as he walks away or walks somewhere, it's thump, 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 thump. It's so funny. And then when that happens, I go, okay, come back. What happened? I'm sorry. I guess it's so hilarious. It's so hilarious. People have so many quirks. I have my quirks, but that's his quirk. He's heavy-footed when he's frustrated or upset. doesn't voice it out like that. You know, he just bumps. Oh, you can't hear her? Okay, well, she's very loud. She's very, very loud right now. She's screaming. I wonder, oh, it's her bedtime. That's why. She just want to go to sleep. Yeah. It's her bedtime. No wonder she's screaming. Yeah, she's like, pick me up. Anyway, is there anything movie-wise or show-wise you guys are watching lately or this weekend? I'll tell you. Chris was not stomping. That's why I was like, oh, he's handling it correctly. Because I can hear this, I can hear it. When I hear stomping, that means he's frustrated. Usually, I usually send a text. I have my phone here. I don't have my phone, but I would have been like, do you want me to take over? Yeah. Anyway, so the show I want to watch is are you ready? It's a murder show. So on Amazon, no, HBO Go, it's called The Mind of a Killer. Oh, I forgot the name, but I know where it is on the stuff. But it's like they interviewed the murderers when they were doing the murder. You know, it's always fascinating to get into people's point of view, get into people's minds and see what they think and stuff like that. But you know, I look forward to hear what those murderers are going to, you know, say. Sometimes I wonder, sometimes I believe that they can't help it. Like, it's like, you know, just like I'm thirsty, I drink some water. I think for them, it's like, I want to kill you today. Right? Yeah. Mark Draper, my new winter gloves are Olympia brand. Oh, they are. So I've been thinking of you every time I write. Oh, it's funny. Winter gloves. I don't even know the Olympia brand, but perfect. Yeah, Olympia brand. Look at that. Tulsa King getting ready to start The Last of Us. Oh, The Last of Us. It's good. The Last of Us is good. Another question I have for you guys. I know some of you guys' stories already, but some of you I don't know. And I don't want to call you up, but anybody want to share more of their stories? And the reason why I say that is because I'm working on a small little project. I'm working on a lot of projects, but this one, anyway, is I want to showcase to the public. So this will be posted on YouTube and stuff. I want to showcase the stories of my community. And so it will be interview style, where, you know, I ask questions and you talk. Does that sound scary? I got one person already. Detective Wobbuffet is interested, but it'd be kind of nice to have a montage of the community stories. Just to. Is that a bad idea? Everybody's quiet. It was like, I don't know. You don't have to show your face. Yeah, you don't have to show your face, although it'd be easier on my editing. But it'd be easier on my editing. But you don't have to show your face. But it'd be cool. It'd be cool to get everybody's stories. I know a lot of your stories already. But anybody who I don't know the story, if you don't remember, if you haven't told me, I'm just curious. Would you be interested? You don't have to say yes. Oh, Lucy! Oh, thank God. Okay. I was like, nobody's talking. Nobody's talking. That's awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. And it's gonna be, so what I plan on doing on the editing part is to, as I do the interview, to take snippets of it's gonna sound so terrible, but take snippets of the most relatable points and create like a community dot, you know, a community dot for everybody to see and watch. Is it daunting? Yeah, it's daunting. Okay, Paula. So Paula and Lucy. All right. So no, I'm just taking names now. I'll make a shout out when I'm ready for it. when I'm ready to, because right now it's Detective Wobby Fett. So when I'm done with her, I'll make a shout out for the next one. Yeah, for sure. But I'm running. Yeah, don't worry. Don't. I mean, don't worry. It's just you guys. You don't have to. You don't have to at all. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to. Have to. Don't feel pressure. You don't have to. You don't have to. You know who was on here last week? Oh, by the way, before I forget, there won't be any live next week because next week depends on the questions. Yeah, I'm not gonna be asking your sexcapades. No, none of that. It's gonna be whatever you feel like. So the way I did it, or I'm gonna do it with Detective Wobbuffet, is I tell her, tell me what you want to share to me already, so I have a base of where to start. That's how I started. Like, Mark, I know your story. You don't have to talk. So I'll start from what I know, and then because if I know it, that means you were comfortable enough to share it, and because it's a public space, so comfortable enough to share it in public, so I can start from there. And you never have to answer anything if you don't want to answer. Please, I do that all the time. I say no all the time. You know, I say that a lot, and then I realize that I'm agreeing a lot in public, but it's because I agree. But in real life, I'm always like, no. Like if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. No, I say no all the time. Tina says my story too long. Mom, grandma, forever, legal secretary. I don't think it will be too long. You know, you make a good point. I will have to refine it. You make a very good point there, Tina. I will have to refine it and make it more specific. Look at that. Looks like I have to think some more on it. Look at that. You're right. You're right. Last question, and then I'm going to wrap it up because it is 8:07. What did you guys have for dinner today? I haven't had dinner yet. And Christopher went to my mother-in-law with the baby for dinner. You know, she feeds us. And I didn't want to go because I had to do the live today, but because next weekend there's no live because I'm spending family time the entire weekend. So I figured, I was like, okay, so a give and take. So I do the live today, but next weekend it's a whole family weekend. Anyway, so Paula says, I'm 72, travel as a carny. Carny? What's a carny? Oh, a carny. Okay. Rode a Harley for 20 years. Was a tour manager and traveled a lot. Tour manager. Oh, anybody famous that we know? Look at that. I've been thinking a lot about writing my story and family history. Maybe this will inspire me. Lobster roll. Yeah. Talk about your family history. Not just for you, Lucy, but for whoever is your kin. Because I realize, you know, I know it sounds terrible, but the little that I know about my father's past history, I understand why he became a narcissist, because his father, my grandfather, was a slave trader. And not only was he a slave trader, but he was extremely abusive. And so you cannot come out okay from having a father like that. Matter of fact, when my grandfather died, all the women in the court took their kids and disappeared. That's how much they hated to be anywhere near my grandpa. So it's not a greater story, but I feel like when Olympia goes older, she will ask the question, why is there two guys here? Where's my mama? Right? Yeah, she'd be like, mommy? No, my dear. It's papa and dad. Yeah, she will ask questions. I have to have an answer. And then in the like, oh really? So who's your mommy? Oh well, that's not quite your grandma, but on paper she is. Oh, really? Like, you know, all that stuff. So it's good to have like a family story so that people can look back without thinking so hard as to what your history is. Because, you know, people will be very curious. On my mother's side, they were a lot more diligent in keeping track and records, but because my mother's family were a lot closer and they were a lot nicer. My grandfather, as I told you, you know, women at the time that did not have the right to work. And polygamy was the norm. My grandfather, my mother's father, only wanted one woman, and he allowed her to work, and so which was like unheard of. Like he was made fun of, shunned at the time, but they kept all of that history. So when I look back at my mom's history, I see my great grandma, I see my great great uncle, I see them all in pictures, I see them all in writings. So they track all that, which is super cool because it allows me to see a little bit not only where I came from, but they also kept record of their struggle. One of my uncle lost everything. He got involved into alcohol and he lost everything. Now, why did they track that? Nosy people, I guess. Yeah, there was a little book. I guess journals. People kept journals, I guess. Yeah, there was a whole book about who he was. There was another uncle who unfortunately passed away from well, he was killed during the Civil War, but all of that was tracked, and to the point where what did he do? So his wife at the time was in Central Africa, and the Civil War broke out, and he was like, I need to get my wife and kids. And unfortunately, as he went to get his wife and kids, he didn't make it back, you know. And they found not the wife and kids, but they recently we found the great granddaughter or great granddaughter of, you know, the kid that my great oh my god, they found one of the kid, they found her, and she was in Central Africa. They found her. To give you an idea, it was like, how did they know it was her? Because they kept records of the name. What a tangent. I'm not boring you because all of this is from this comment. Look at that. The world went by. Monday, Tuesday happened. Wednesday, look, like it shows you I can talk. Like in real life, this would have been edited out because it's just mumbo jumbo. Yeah. Let's see what you said. So, okay, tour. She took people on tour, not famous people. My cousin and John. What? Your cousin and John Mellencamp? Whoa! How cool! Dar, broad crab cake, baked potato, and David's chocolate chip cookie dough. Boring. No, what are you talking about? Crab cake? So you guys are eating seafood today. Look at you. You have a crab cake, lobster roll. That's amazing. Lucy's having lobster. Look at that. Booba, what if you can't or don't want to answer the question? Use the cupcake distraction. Works on youngers every time. What is the cupcake distraction? What is that? Is that where you just drop a cupcake and the kid just like, oh, cupcake, and forget about the question? Is that what it is? Because that is actually absolutely clever. That's very clever. Oh my God. Wow. Look at you guys. Wow. Look, Paula and Lucy related? Oh. What's that company who does the connection of the tree of the, is it genealogy tree? Oh, whatever. I don't remember the company name, but look at that. You get the bootlegger version, PACT Nation Live, connecting families together. Oh my God, that's so funny. Anyway, lovelies, I don't mean to scream into your ears. Sorry about that. It's time for the outro because I am starving and it's 8:15. It's nice to see you guys. It really is. Look at that. Looking at the comment. Like, it's cool. Looks like we're having a conversation. It's really awesome. One thing I have to say, that's why, David, if you're still here, you were congratulating me on the 6,000. I've stopped looking at all that because I'm happy either way. I feel like I won. Regardless, I won. It feels good. I feel good. I'm very happy. Everything else is just details. Right? How awesome. Oh, Ancestry. That's right. Ancestry. Ancestry.com. Get the bootlegger version here. Just talk about your story. I hope somebody else is related. Booba. Look, Booba is like, Mommy, who's my daddy? Well, I'll tell you later. Who wants a cupcake? Cupcakes! You're so stupid. This is great. I cannot, you know, that would work. That would totally work because kids would do that. Mommy, who's my daddy? Who wants a cupcake? Cupcakes! Yeah, all clever, all children. So easily fooled. Sorry, I got distracted again. Thank you for watching, everybody. You are one of the best things that ever happened to me. You know, when I say that, Christopher says, really? And I'm always like, oh my God, please be quiet. But yeah, one of the best things ever happened to me. I will see you later. Tomorrow, I think I am doing a live with Beefy. I'm not 100% sure if our schedule aligns. But I'm recording more videos for next week. Oh, content creating. I need an assistant. No, who's gonna film me and then edit and then post. I need someone to just do all the work, but I want to do it for free. But nobody works for free. Oh my God. Anyway, love you all. Goodbye.